Every superhero must have theme music. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Welcome to another show of Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. I am your host and moderator, Brother Jackie Muhammad, and we have for you such a dynamic show for you tonight. We thank you all for tuning in. We thank you all for sticking with us. We thank you all for your support. But before we get into our guests, I would like to introduce and present to you the dynamic duo, dynamic brothers, very intelligent, both of them, very motivated. Both are mentors, youth mentors. Both are family men. Both are entrepreneurs. So the first one I would like to introduce our brother and your brother. He hails from New York City, but now he's a southern young man. He's southern now. He has the southern drawl. He doesn't have that New York linguistic anymore. But our brother is doing a wonderful job. He's working hard to present himself to the world. So I would like to present to some and introduce the others. Your brother and my brother, Brother Ahmed B.I. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Salam. Thank you, brother. I got a couple other things I wanted you to add to that, but we'll get into that later. You know, my author, my basketball, it's Old Net. That's what they call me, Old Net. I mean, there's so much more, but thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us tonight. We have another exciting show, Jock Brothers Live. Tune in, go on Facebook and YouTube and subscribe and like and support us any way you can. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules. Back to you, Brother Jackie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And my other partner, my brother, comrade in the struggle, as I've introduced him earlier. He hails from Atlanta. I can't find my list of all the accolades to give him. I can't find it, brother. I got to get with the secretary, but you maybe can present it yourself, sir. So welcome. Let us present to some and introduce to others our brother and your brother, Brother Kawi Muhammad. Abdul Kawi Muhammad. Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Assalamu alaikum, family.
Islam.
Very excited about this show. The brother that we introducing tonight, along with his wife, he electrified us last week as the keynote speaker at the mosque. So I thought it would just be fitting that the brother come to the show and give us some more of that electricity. I'm very much so looking forward to this show. And again, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. For those of you that has been supporting us for a long time, for a very long time, especially those that's been here since the beginning, we thank you. Words can't express we can't express to you enough how much we appreciate your support of the Jock Brothers. And for those that has contributed to us financially, thank you very much. For those that would like to continue to contribute to the Jock Brothers platform, you can simply Cash App us, and that Cash App should be scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It's Cash App, of course, $ Jock Bros.
Where's that engineer?
Cash App $ Jock Bros. BROS. I'm sorry, Jock. JAKQ.
Let me get this.
BROS. There you go, right there.
Oh, okay.
There you go, right there. Praise be to Allah. Yes, the Jock Brothers, we have a lot of initiatives that we always like to try to get off. We like to showcase youth that are doing great, especially those that have businesses. We always like to. We had a prison initiative that we jumped off nearly 2 years ago. Still trying to grow that entity, and of course, we are youth mentors, and we try to take these juniors and expose to them the things that wasn't exposed to us while we was gone, such as brothers like Brother God and his wife. So if you would like, again, to donate to those endeavors, please look at the Cash App rolling at the bottom of the screen. It's $ Cash App $ JAKQBROS. As always, please share the show. Please share the show. Please ask your people to hit the bell and, of course, subscribe. That's all I have for you. Thank you for tuning in once again. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Kawi. Okay, so I have the awesome task of introducing our special guest. And I would like to start with this powerful introduction. If the Urban Dictionary is right in its definition of a power couple, in parentheses, two confident, self-assured people who realize their worth, join together and dominate life.
Come on, bro.
Close parentheses. Then Brother Ghazi and Sister, help me out, Diane Muhammad are definitely that. What makes them powerful as individual? What makes them powerful as individual is a commitment to putting God first in love, life, and business.
That's right.
And a deep desire to serve people. Brother Ghazi has been impacting, empowering, and inspiring audiences in schools, prisons, universities, boardroom, churches, mosques, and auditoriums for 30 plus years. A professional storyteller, author, and coach. Brother Ghazi uses his God-given gift of mining people's personal stories for hidden treasures and helps entrepreneurs break free from limiting beliefs so they can impact more people and make more money.
That's right.
Sister Cheyenne, aka the Wealth Doula, is a certified financial coach and credit expert who has used her years of military and hospital leadership, a degree in business, a background as a real estate investor, but most importantly, her own personal 20-year financial journey to lead a massive wave of wealth builders across the country. An author and speaker, Sister Cheyenne currently helps business owners increase their profit without increasing the time they spend in their businesses. Brother Ghazi and Sister Cheyenne own, all right, help me out, the ranch, Cayanes. Okay, because Cayanes Sunset Ranch, a 25-acre wedding and event venue outside of Atlanta. And the Cayane Foundation, a 501c3 that serves at-risk youth. So with the Jock Brothers and the Jock Nation, round of applause, let us welcome to the show Brother Ghazi and Sister Cheyenne. Welcome. Thank you all for accepting our invitation to come on. You're muted. I couldn't hear you.
No, thank you.
Oh,
can you hear us?
Yes. I didn't know if you wanted to say a couple words.
Oh, no. Well, man, we just want to say in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, always open up in the name of the true and the living God. And, we thank him for his coming and intervention in our affairs. We thank him for raising up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we thank them both for our leader, teacher, and guide. An excellent example for all of humanity, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And with that, we greet you, brothers, and the Jock Nation with the greeting words of peace and our language of Assalamu alaikum.
All right. So let's get into this power couple. That's good because normally, this world likes to paint those who are actors or singers, as power couples. But your talent is helping entrepreneurs, serving people. How is that journey as a power couple?
Well, it's a beautiful thing that we both individually had a desire to serve in our own different ways. And when you bring it together, it just puts service at the forefront of everything that we do. It is always about how we can help people. And, you know, a lot of people like to put the profit before the purpose, but for us, it's always been the purpose first, and the purpose, focusing on our purpose, has brought profit. So it definitely is a journey.
Okay. Oh, well, let's start with you, if you don't mind. The wealth doula. What does that mean?
So, you know, I really just help people find their money and make it make babies. So many of us, all we know from watching our parents, all we know is that we work for money. We work, pay bills until we die. But somewhere along the way, I learned that there was another way, that you can actually make your money work for you. And once I understood that I could make my money work for me, and I didn't have to be always chasing a dollar, or always on somebody else's time, you know, punching somebody else's clock. Once I got a little glimpse of that, it was hard for me to see life any other way.
Right.
I grew up with two hardworking parents, just like most of us did. But once, you know, I've always been a listener, and I like to hang around people that are way smarter than I am. And I just started to listen to people talk about different ways that they were making money, which was outside of my realm of thinking. And I just started applying 20 plus years ago. I just started applying little things that I heard, as far as investing in the stock market, as far as investing in real estate, all those things, investing in real estate and different things like that. And so I just started applying. It was sloppy and ugly. It was imperfect, you know, when I first started, but I just kept going. I learned a lot of things along the way. And I've always been a natural teacher. So everything that I've learned over the years, even before I actually had the designation of a certified financial coach, I just started teaching people. Whoever would listen, I just started teaching people what I was doing to make money work for me. So the wealth doula is simply that. If you can figure out how to make your money make babies, if you can understand that every single dollar that you have available should be producing more dollars. When you can understand that you can make your money make babies for you, you have really got the game and gone. No matter where you're starting, whatever your starting point is, if you can make your money reproduce itself, you are really on the path to wealth. So that is really what I teach people how to do.
So the idea of a savings account, or the idea of putting your money in that coffee can and hiding it up under the mattress, that's not in your in your bio, huh? We getting rid of the old idea, huh?
Yeah, so if you're gonna put it in a savings account, there are savings accounts that do better. And my whole brain is twisted. You know, I'm far outside of my thinking about the banking system and sitting your money somewhere else. Like, if you think about it, for every $1,000 that you sit in the bank can loan $10,000 on your $1,000, and then they pay you 0.5% to lend your money. But then when you want to borrow somebody else's money from that same bank, they're going to charge you 15, 16, 17, 18, 25% interest. So it doesn't make sense. The banking system, you know, it just doesn't make sense the more I learn. And so definitely, as I work with clients, you know, yes, you need to be saving, but you need to minimize what you have in a savings account. And then there's other ways. There's high interest savings accounts that you can put your money in that are online. These are online banks, not necessarily brick and mortar like Bank of America, Chase, those type of banks. Put your money in an online savings account, and you're going to earn a little bit more in interest. So I'm not 100% against the savings. And then the other thing that you mentioned was putting money in a coffee can. With the way things are going right now, all of us got to have a little, some cash, at home, because the banking systems are breaking down, all kinds of things. We have Chase Bank. I just heard just a couple of days ago that Chase Bank has taken over another bank. And there's been several banks in recent history that have completely fallen apart and are being saved by the feds. And so we have to definitely have some money in a can at home. So I talk to my clients about how much money you need to have in savings, how much you need to have in a can under your mattress or in a safe, not under your mattress or in a can, but in a safe, in your home, given the things that are happening in this day and age. So yeah, we talk about all those kind of things. So that's not totally out the question, but we need to minimize that type of savings.
Absolutely. Okay. So Brother Ghazi, you have been impacting and empowering and inspiring audience in prison, schools, university, boardroom, churches, auditorium for 30 plus years, a professional storyteller. So what was that about? Your progress in the 30-year journey?
Well, I started on the other end of the entrepreneurial journey. I started in the streets.
Yes,
she started in the boardroom. I started in the parole board. we had two extremes, right? And
yes.
So, I registered when I was 16 years old in 1988. But I was one of the Buckweiler FOI, and I wound up going to penitentiary a couple months later from high school, and didn't get out till I was 24, right before the Million Man March, about 40-some days before the Million Man March. And so I actually started speaking in prison. Some of the older brothers would give me books, and I would read and I would regurgitate what they was giving me in my own unique way, and develop a reputation of being a speaker while I was locked up. During that time, I spent like 48 months in solitary confinement, 6 different penitentiaries. I was like, wow, like the devil this. They kept me in the hole because I was on them, And so when I came home, it was rough. When I came home, I didn't have no practical work experience, no real work history. I mean, the longest work experience I had was working in the chow hall, behind the walls. So when I come out, you got 6 felonies, and didn't nobody want to hire you, and it was rough. So a lot of brothers that come out of them situations, they forced. Elijah Muhammad say, do for self or suffer the consequences. Well, many of them brothers, they forced to do for self. If not, they're gonna really suffer some consequences because they're going back, because it's only one. Either I'm going to the block or I'm gonna know how to do for self. Because the system ain't gonna really just readily give you no quote unquote good job. And so many of brothers, they was forced. So my mind was forced to start doing something like being creative. And I started. It's a brother in St. Louis, brother Robert 11X. He owned like several businesses, and I remember I came to Brother Robert when I was on parole, and I said, brother, I'm looking for a job because he had some businesses, and he's the FOI. He said, brother, don't disrespect me like that, brother. He said, Elijah Muhammad said, do for self or suffer the consequences, brother. We ain't getting no job. We're gonna produce a job. And he first one really put that in my head. I said, man. So it started me on a journey to really start applying myself towards business. And so since that time, I've had like a security company. I've had a hauling company with like 8 employees. I've had a fleet of ice cream trucks when I was in Phoenix, Arizona. I had 2 transitional houses. I just started doing all kinds of things. And that was my journey. I started doing coaching, professional storytelling, professional speaking. And so I was forced. I was literally forced to do for self or suffer the consequence. But over the years, my passion has been, I'm going to tell you, on my way home from prison, it was what solidified my commitment to young people, especially young Black men, with this right here. I was in the prison called The Walls in Jefferson City, Missouri. We was in solitary confinement. And there was these 2 young brothers, they was Crips. So when I went in 1988, I can count on one hand the number of brothers that was in maximum security prison under 21 years old. It wasn't a lot of us. But remember, in the 80s, that's when they really saturated the community with crack cocaine. That's when the movie colors spread all out everywhere, drive-by shooting, they put the weapons in the hood. So when I came out in 95, probably 65, 70% of everybody coming in was teenagers. So I was in there, I witnessed that transition from that older generation from the 70s, them old heroin dealers, them old pimps, and from the 60s and 70s to that young gang banging, Crip blood type thing. So on my way out, I was in solitary confinement, and I was listening to these 2 brothers holler across their cell. And the conversation went like this. One was 16, he was eligible for parole in 40 years. And the other brother was 18, he had life without the possibility of parole. So the one that was 16, they yelling across the cell. He said, hey, cuz. He said, by the time I get out, I'll be 56 years old. He said, I can still give me a wife, have me some children, and raise me a family, can't I, cuz? Well, misery love company. So the brother who had life without parole, his response was, nigga, you ain't going nowhere. You gonna be in here with me. We ain't going nowhere, right? And as I sat on that bunk, listen to these young brothers, I'm like, damn, I just spent over 7 hard years in these camps. I couldn't imagine 40 years behind. I'm like, I can't even see nothing like that because it was rough. Them time I spent, right? And but what really touched me was the level of this young brother's humanity. Damn, he still had dreams. This brother still had a vision. He still wanted a wife and children and a family, despite he knowing that he been spend decades behind these walls. His still the God in him still said, I want something more out of life. I deserve something more out of life. And when I heard that conversation, that kind of solidified, like, I got to get back to these young cats when I get out, you know, because that was me, and I related to them. I understood where they was coming from, you know, drug addict parents, not knowing my daddy, you know, not being raised with my father and in the streets on the block. And I went back and forth between the mosques. I'll leave the mosque, go steal cars, come back to the mosque on Sunday, you know, go smoke weed, come back to the mosque on Sunday, go break in the house, come back. You know, I was buck wild. I was going between them two because I didn't have that strong moral foundation. I just loved to hear what the minister was saying. I love what the FOI was saying. So that was pulling on me, but my environment was pulling on the devil in me. So what I tell a lot of our people, especially the brothers, in our lessons, we taught that the black man is the original man. He is the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet, God of the universe. Well, if we don't have an environment that reinforce that truth, if I raise my son up telling them that, but my son, he don't see a black man that's making nothing. He don't see a black man that owns nothing. He don't see a black man that's rising up the cream or nothing. He don't see a black man being the God. All he see is pimps, players, hustlers, drug dealers. They live in an environment that reinforce the opposite truth of what I'm trying to teach him. And that was my girl. I heard that, but my reality it reinforced something totally different, you know, until I started doing myself, you know.
Yes, sir. So now that brings me to what you were speaking of earlier, a transitional house. Is that when a brother comes out of the penitentiary or the jail system, and is attempting to make his way back into society, be a productive citizen? You know, how did that go as far as the transitional house, and what are some of the pros and cons of that?
Man, we had you know, and you know, since I'm from St. Louis originally, that's a show me state, so we just do stuff, right? I ain't know nothing about no paperwork, no 501c3. I just knew that I need to go get these cats and go make it happen, right? So me and the brother on Latino FOI in Phoenix, he did some time before, tatted it all up, come up in the Latin Kings. He and I came together, and we just went out of our pocket, rented 2 houses. We went found 2 houses, we rented. We went to all the black barbershops and told them what we were trying to do. The black barbershop, they collected donation for shoes, clothes, pillows, and blankets, and cosmetics and everything for us, all the black barbershops, right? And we just started going out to coming to the people coming out of prison, rehab centers, and we talking to the brothers, man, we was filled. We had 18 brothers in about 30 days. You know, we had 18 brothers, and we coming out of our pocket, right? So we didn't know that there was money that you could get for this. We didn't know nothing about no 501c3. They say, y'all got a 501c3? We like, what's a 501c3? You know, all we knew is how to go make it happen. But what we did was we would bring in the fruit, and we had almost like a Friday night study circle. So we would go over 7 improvement study course. We'd be around, and we going over the study session, and like going over building the wheel, brother, because most of these brothers ain't got no willpower. You know, we going over mixed feelings and controversy, the struggle for balance.
Yes, sir.
All them rising above emotions. So we really applied the teachings in a practical way to these brothers, and it was helping out real good.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Now, dear sister, when you hear a situation like that, where our brother starts something, but he doesn't have all of the necessary credentials as far as a 501c, we know where he can make the best of what he's doing, make the best of his situation. What does that do? I know it has to inspire something in you, you know, when you hear situations like that. So what do you say to brothers and sisters who are listening? Maybe they're starting a business, maybe they're thinking about a 501, maybe they're thinking about doing something that helps the community. What do you say to a person like that who comes to you like that?
Well, you know, one of the beautiful things about this brother sitting next to me is his humility and ability to humble himself. And I remember I met Ghazi at an entrepreneur event, and he said he needed help. You know, can you help me? And I remember him saying that, you know, can you help me? Because you know, what I saw is this man with a huge vision to serve people. And it really is what we are as women are here to do, is to help. You know, y'all men, you have the vision, but we usually are equipped with the structure, you know. And so that's what I saw in Ghazi, is that he had this huge vision, even to come here, you know, to purchase this ranch, this land. That was his vision. You know, he didn't have all the parts and pieces together as to how we should do it. You know, he had, you know, didn't know, you know, to find realtors that knew how to, you know, knew about land and things like that. He just had the vision and this heart to follow what the teachings say and what the minister said. And that is to purchase land, that we need to own land and that we need to do for self. And I had never heard, you know, those terms before. But you know, our computer keeps going out. Can you still see and hear us when that happens?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I don't know. So I think as women, we are naturally equipped to help. And I would just say, if you're out there and you have a man with vision, you know, sometimes there's been times when Ghazi has had a vision. I didn't necessarily agree with it, but I know that this man has a direct connection to God. And so sometimes I have to you know, turn me off and not think about, you know, I didn't understand everything that he wanted to do. I didn't know any farmers. I didn't know anybody who owned a lot of land. But God, the impact that we've had since we've been on this land has been tremendous. So I know that was a press that God himself put on his heart for us to do. So my job was just to put the pieces together to make it happen. And in the 2.5 years that we've been here, we have just impacted way more people than I ever anticipated we would. And we were able to do that together because he had the vision, I had the structure and the parts and pieces to bring to help bring that vision to life.
So
Ice cream man.
when I hear this story, I'm gonna be honest with you. Courtship questions come on my mind about how these sisters should view a brother that. But we ain't talking courtship today. We might have to bring you back for another show.
But you know, can I say something for a minute?
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm gonna tell you, man. You know, I'm listening to what she's saying, and you know, it's something because sometimes, you know, both of us have been married before, previously, right? And sometimes, you know, we look for people. You know, we talk that we never learned the science of mating, right? It's a science to it. And sometimes, you know, what I've learned was the more I learned myself and my inadequacies and my weaknesses and my flaws, I realized, in studying myself, I realized what I needed. So when I say I need help, I'm like, here, because I don't got the structure part. Because everybody tell me about 501c3s and paperwork and emails, and that ain't my cup of tea at all. If I had to send any emails on this ranch, we would be bankrupt. Real talk. Because I'm not sending no emails. I'm not checking it. And you see, I had a hard time getting on StreamYard. Yeah, she got to figure that stuff out because that ain't my thing. But put me in the jungle and let me just do what I do and let me just naturally act. I can do that all day long, but you need structure to it though. So what I learned with this right here, that my gift was in the 99 attributes of Allah, one of the attributes is Khaliq, that's creator, right? I can create something. I've done it time and time and time again. However, if you want to scale it to the next level, you need the other attribute. You need Rob. That's the one who nurtures the stage after stage to reach perfection. I didn't have that. That was my weakness, right? I created, but since I couldn't nurture it and take it to another level, it would reach an apex, then in the fall, I go create something different. But now, once you got them attributes together, oh Lord, have mercy. Now I created, had an idea, had a vision, make it happen, and she take it to another level, and we just keep going higher and higher and higher. You know,
That's right. Beautiful. But this my question, guys. She said you had that vision. Can you tell us about how you got that vision?
Man, you know, okay, so you know, it started when you know, she early on in the pregnancy, in the marriage, she got pregnant, and it was a highly anticipated pregnancy because she was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome at a young age. They told her she wasn't gonna have no children, and she was excited. You know, when she was 16, she had a dream that she had a little girl. She seen herself playing with the little girl in the yellow dress and all that, you know. So when she found out through the ultrasound that it was a little girl, she was ecstatic. I mean, she was all on social media, her family involved, her friends, everybody involved, you know, with the process. But then the baby wound up dying. The baby was stillborn. And it's something because, so I was in St. Louis actually doing two things. I was doing a eulogy for one of my young cousins who OD'd on heroin. And I was speaking to 500 young black boys. I had a speaking engagement in St. Louis. The same weekend I was down there doing my eulogy for my little cousin's janaza. And she knew that she had lost the baby, but she didn't tell me. She didn't say nothing to me. So when I called home, like, everything good, she didn't say nothing because her spirit was, God got you on a mission and I want you to complete that mission. I'll deal with that when you come back home. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that. Because she know if she would have told me that she felt like she lost the baby, I'm cutting the speaking engagement short, the janaza short, everything. I'm finna get back on the plane and head back to Arizona. But she didn't do that. She let me continue on, and I talked to the young people, and I call them excited, like, man, these young people did this, all these little cats, and the principal and them with this, and that. We want to talk to at the janaza, and when I come home, she tell me that she thinks she had lost the baby. Now, about a week prior to that, the minister, Mr. Farrakhan, was in Phoenix doing a janaza for Brother Hannibal, Big Brother Hannibal. May Allah be pleased with him. A great brother that's from Phoenix, raised up in Phoenix, Arizona. And when she lost the baby, she actually slept in the bed with this baby for hours. And she dressed this baby. She talked to this baby. She went to sleep with this baby. And as a father, it was deep as hell for me because I had 9 children already. So I joke with her and say, they said you weren't going to have no babies. God knew who to put you with, because damn, if I couldn't do nothing else, I can make some babies. Because I had already had 9 strong, you know. And so when we got together and she had the baby and she lost the baby, she slept with that baby. Now, as a father, I was there for all my children's birth. That was a hell of a thing for me to see a lifeless child that was my daughter, that was undeveloped. She was unformed. Because she was like 24 weeks. And that was something. But this woman just laid there with that baby. We gave her space. Now, rather than stay in that place of grief and mourning, we started a nonprofit organization in honor of the girl, the Kayani Foundation. And then we had rented a place in Phoenix, Arizona, that was like the Taj Mahal, where we honored 24 other black women who lost children through miscarriage and stillbirths. We put crowns on these sisters' heads. We put all their baby names and plaques. We had catered meals. We brought in speakers. We told the servants to serve them like they queens, like they royalty. They shouldn't want for nothing. And 2 weeks after we served them sisters right there, she found out she pregnant again with Lil Gazi. Now he on deck, running around the farm, tearing up stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's 2 years old now. And so the lesson for me was that when you go through pain and trauma, you can hold on to it yourself, or you can serve other people who went through similar pain and trauma and watch how Allah opened the door for you for a blessing. Now, what helped her get through that phase, and I'm gonna finish this story, but what helped her get through it, when she was laying in the bed in turmoil, I was re-listening to the minister's janaza that brother Fontaine, he put it out, a brother Hannibal's janaza. And it was so deep. And he said something that triggered something in her mind. And she grabbed my phone and I didn't get my phone back. And she kept listening to the minister's janaza over and over again, over and over. And it was something in that really helped her, because he was talking about life and death, that God give life, he calls death, that he's the author of it all. And so whatever the minister was saying really helped her emotionally and spiritually make it through that time in terms of trauma. And so from that, we shifted our thinking. We was about to buy an RV and travel the country for a whole year. But I listened to a little clip that our young brother Ben X put up on the minister talking about land. And I seen that clip, like we went rented the RV, we went price some RVs, we had the house up for sale. We've been doing this like in a week or two. I'm listening to the clip, and I now come around and say, no, I don't want no RV. Let's get some land. And she say, hell, some land? What we gonna do with some land? So I knew Brother Patrick down here. I called Brother Patrick. I said, hey, bro, I want some land. I'm gonna come down to Georgia and see you. And we came down here, and Brother Patrick and what was the real name? His sister? God, it wasn't Sister Karima. No. It was her name used to be something else, but she changed. She got a holy name now. But she was a realtor, an MDT sister here. She was from DC originally, I think. But they helped us find the land, and we found it. We named the whole thing after Kayani, and the idea behind it was that Kayani died, but something was still born inside of us, a sense of purpose and a mission and a vision. she was stillborn, but something was still born in us. Something was born in us, a sense of purpose. And we had no idea that we was going in the last 2 years impact thousands of people who come to the land physically, but thousands of more who've never been to the land, but have sent us emails and text messages and just being inspired by the journey, because we didn't know a damn thing about no farm, chickens, cows, or none of that kind of stuff, and we just jumped into it, and it's just been a blessing,
Yes, sir. Sent you emails and text messages that you can't even respond.
Real talk.
Yes, sir.
I got to Google what they talking about.
Yes, sir. So, Ahmed, Kawi, one of you had a question?
Well, no, he said she was gonna finish the story. Was that the end of it?
Oh, she might want to say something from her angle.
No, that was really the end. It's just, I have learned through different things that I've been through in my life that you use those things to serve. There's a reason why you go through these things, and it's not just for you. You got to use those things to serve. And so the words that was put on my heart after we lost her was love more, serve more, give more. And that was 2019, and here we are. And my God, what we have done here, we never anticipated, buy some land and do for self. That was it. But what we have done here, we've had thousands of people through here. There have been several people to come here who have purchased land after. Almost everybody that comes here, they want to purchase land after seeing what we've done here. We've taught people how to monetize their land. We've had little boys come here and who've never been exposed to Black people owning land, and they see Brother Ghazi and they tell their parents, I want to be a farmer like Brother Ghazi, and so the impact that God has blessed us to be able to have has just been incredible, and all because we didn't stay in that place of grief and mourning with this little girl. We choose to take that pain and to serve people through it and using, the story.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about this land. Go ahead, brother.
No. I was going to say that's a beautiful, beautiful story.
It is.
You turning tragedy into triumph. That's a beautiful story. That's what I wanted to talk about, the different streams that you all have been able to produce with the land. I don't know if you want to share some of them with us.
Well, Jack, I want to know, we're still on the same subject. When that land, since you are now a major landowner, a lot of us get a house that has like a quarter acre, and now you have acres. I guess you can't even see your neighbors. What is that experience like? First of all, getting that type of land. I was about to get 5 acres one time, but somebody threw something at me. They said, "Who's going to cut that grass?" And I was like, "Oh, I ain't thinking that. And let me just get a house." So what was it about that land that that made you go forward with it? And then let's talk about those. What can that land actually do for you?
Right.
Monetarily.
Right. That's what I want. Yeah.
Before guys is gonna answer this question, but let me just say, whoever threw that at you, who gonna cut that grass, they was on to something, because it is a lot of grass. It's a lot of grass. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and it's something because we developed a course, because so many people are asking us questions. We developed a course, an online course on Thinkific, called the Landpreneur, where I detail like all the mistakes that we made, the ups, the downs, the pain, and the 25 different streams of income we created in our first year.
Zoning.
Yeah, the zoning, and so the landpreneur.com is where you can find the course at. So, man, we didn't think about trash, because when you out here, we think we from the hood. The city come get your trash. But out here, we putting trash out there. We like, damn, the trash still they ain't came got the trash yet. We calling the city like, who gonna get the trash? They're like, where you live? What's the address? We got to get a private. We got to pay a private. It ain't like the city just come get your trash. So we had trash everywhere. I'm putting trash in the pickup truck going to the dump. I'm like, I'm got like 30 bags going to the dump every week.
You need a dumpster.
No, the city dump. You know how you go to the
yeah. No, what I'm saying though, do you need a dumpster right now though?
7 or 8 dumpsters.
Yeah, so we just paying now. We got 7 like big dumpsters now that we just.
that's what I do. But okay.
Oh, you do that? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we need to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk later. Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, we
Yes,
talk about that, bro.
yes, sir.
But
Okay.
then, so we didn't think about internet because both of us, we were speakers and trainers, so most of our business was online. We like, damn. I mean, we didn't try every company in the back in this all the internet whack. We didn't have every satellite internet, all that. So we just got the Verizon hotspot. That's working better than these satellites. We spend $300-400 a month per satellite. Cause we had 3 of them on the land because we wanted some at the event venue, one here in this little glamping house that we in. It's like a little Airbnb house, and then one there by the house. We spent all that money, and that stuff was choppy. It was crazy. We like, man, because ain't no high-speed internet out here. So you got to take into consideration internet, trash, and then zoning. Hell, we got land. We started doing everything. And then the people come and say, oh, no, y'all can't do that. We like, why we can't do this? We own this. They're like, oh, no, y'all ain't zoned for that. We're like, zone? What the hell is zoning? What's this? So now she got to go research zoning because I'm going to go to war with them. She got to research zoning. And now they talking about zoning and permits and all that kind of stuff. So we didn't know none of that. So what we did, I'm going to show you how our law worked. They were trying to shut us down a lot of things, right? When the zoning people came out here, y'all can't do this, y'all get zoned. I looked up and Googled black attorneys in Douglasville, Georgia. And it's a brother, his name was Mitchell. My family's slave name was Mitchell, right? So I tell my wife, I say, hell, he might be my cousin or something, so I'm gonna call this brother right here, right? So that's the only way I picked him. But when I was talking to the brother, he said, brother, what's your name? I say, Ghazi Muhammad. He say, are you in the nation? I said, yes, sir. He said, man, one of my best friends was Minister Rahman. He said, brother, I came up in the nation. I say, brother, I just randomly called this brother. He say, brother, pro bono, brother. I'm gonna help you out for free, brother. I ain't pay nothing, brother. He said, what y'all need, brother? He started researching things for us and everything. And so we battled. By the time we went to the zoning commission, we found out that in Douglas County, it's mostly blacks that's in the politics, that run the politics. When they found out that we were some brothers and sisters, hell, they was like, oh, hell no, approve. And many of them came out here. And the truth, it was one Caucasian lady who was she was like not an alderman, like some kind of like representative or something, like she was a politician. But she came out on the land and she helped us out as well because she said that she grew up in the farm and she hate all the red tape they doing to landowners and things like that. But we had the battle. I mean, we had the straight battle, and the battle ain't 100% over. It's still some things that we got to do. One last hurdle that we trying to get over. Recently, we had the fire chief out here and the people from the city, all of them came out here and met with me. And it's one of the hurdles we still trying to overcome. We're trying to figure out how we can do this because when you got land, we have an event venue on it. And so in order to operate everything properly, we got to have a fire hydrant within so many feet from the event venue. Well, ain't no fire hydrants on this road. And it cost like $100,000. I say, man, I ain't got no $100,000. So now we got a pond. So now we're trying to figure out how we can get, if needed, we can get a pump in the pond. And if it's a fire over there, we can have that as far as a pump. Right, a pump. So that's something we're working on now. But man, it was rough. We didn't know. And that's just that side here, the land side. Man, we bought cows. We had bulls, sheep. I didn't know what the hell these things eat, bro. I'm like, I'm feeding the ducks. I'm on Facebook Live feeding these ducks bread. People like, you gonna kill them ducks? That boy eat no bread. Like, what they eat? They eat the meat. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know chicken lay eggs every day. Where these big cows was coming, they had these big horns, and I go in there and feeding. They run up on me, they playing. I used to carry a pitchfork. I think if one of y'all run up on me, y'all gonna be a steak. Now I'm gonna stab one of y'all. I'm gonna shank one of y'all. So cows run up on me, so then I got used to him. Brother Patrick said to me, he said, brother, you the original man, brother. They made to serve us. So then I started walking out. I remember the minister saying how he seen that bull in the middle of the road. So I walked in with a little confidence. I swear I walk up on them bulls and the cow. They put their head down and go the other way. Like, they ain't gonna be crazy if something walking up on me like this. I'm 10,000 pounds, you know. But, we had to learn a lot through trial and error. And we didn't learn about growing no food. The first time we grew food, brother, we didn't know you supposed to separate the garden 6 inches and all. We ain't know nothing about none of that. I went in the field with a shovel, like Jack in the Beanstalk, brother. I dug a hole through 100 seeds in that hole, 100 seeds in that hole right next to it, and stuff started growing. And then we go back out there, grass and weeds growing. We're like, damn, where we plant the tomatoes at? Where the cucumbers at? Because because we didn't know nothing about weed suppression, none of that kind of stuff. But as it grew, we had so much. Our first year, we had so much zucchini, squash, tomatoes, bell peppers, hot peppers, jalapeno. It was growing. She got on Facebook and said, because at the time she didn't know how to can. Sister Colette taught her how to do the canning now, Colette Muhammad. But at that time she didn't know how to can. So we didn't want the food to go bad. So she got on Facebook and say, who want free farm fresh vegetables? Here we had cards putting up, we could give them vegetables because we didn't want the vegetables to go bad.
Sir.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about some of the challenges. Do you put all that in the on the landpreneur.com? All the challenges that you go through?
Yeah, man. Yeah, hell, man. And some more. We had them cows got out one day. And Sister Ava, man, Allah be pleased with it. When we first got it, she interviewed her on tour on the elevated places and the other station that she had. And at that time, that week, one of them bulls had got out in the field, in the streets. So I'm like, hell, I'm like a dog. I'm like, hell, let me in. I mean, and luckily I had a nephew here from St. Louis, him and his girlfriend. They in the bus going one way, she in the SUV blocking the bull. I'm saying, hey, under there, hell, I'm trying to get the thing. I'm like, this thing running down the street gonna kill somebody. I didn't know what to do. So I went and got some food and just sucking them back on the land with some food, and we got him in the gate and locked it in. I say, damn, this big old wolf finna kill somebody, you know?
He's supposed to come like this, brother. You're supposed to pull up, brother, and you know.
Right. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Well, that's good, brother. Go ahead, brother Kawhi. I didn't know if your question was.
Oh no, well, no. I want to get on those streams of income and how some of the streams of income that was obvious versus some of the ones that fell in your lap, and you didn't know you could make money like this.
Well, one of the things that we did was somebody came out here and they mentioned a website called HipCamp. And so they and people would just come out here and drop seeds, and then I would go do the research, or they would tell guys or something, I would go do the research on it. So there's a company called HipCamp, and it's really the Airbnb of the camping world. Now, we really not that much into camping. So we were getting a lot. We got all nationalities, all races that were coming out here and camping on our land. And it was a really nice stream of income because you don't really have to do anything other than provide them with the space. And so that was pretty awesome. There's 14 buildings on the property. And so this one that we're in, has 3 separate rooms in it. So we thought, we can rent this space out. It doesn't have a bathroom in the kitchen, but there's an outdoor bathroom. And we added a shower to that. And then we allow people to come and, rent this space out as well. And when we have conferences like the Black Homesteader Conference that's coming up, this is always the first thing. Many people are calling us, hey, can we rent we call it the glamping house. It's not camping, it's glamorous camping. And so it's always one of the first things to go. So that was another thing that we did was rent this space out. We host retreats here, reunions, weddings. We do a ton of weddings. There was already a venue here. This place has been a wedding venue or being used as a wedding venue for almost 20 years now. One of the things that Brother Patrick told us was don't change the name, because if it's known in the community, you want to keep that name. So when people search it, they can still find it. So all we did was just add our daughter's name to what was already a business name with Sunset Ranch. And so we still get traffic on a regular basis from people who have been to a wedding out here before. They knew somebody who got married here before. Somebody said there's this place over here called Sunset Ranch. It's been a staple in the community for a long time. Mm-hmm. So that was a big way that we made money. And then just last year, we started, we hosted this big conference called the Ready Expo. And it was really successful for our first year ever doing something like that. We had over 300 people out here attending classes. We had 22 different instructors out here teaching different types of survival classes. And so it was so popular, we thought that we would do it every year, but we wanted to make it something that where our people knew that this is for us and by us. So
that's right.
That was Brother Ghazi was very insistent about calling it the Black Homesteader Conference.
Yeah. And because the last conference, we partnered up with a brother who's a dynamic brother, but like our ideas went somewhere else. He didn't want to be black. He thought it would like alienate his white audience, but because he got a lot of support from white folk. And I'm like, nah, we want to call it Black owned. We want to deal with our people. And even though we call it that, like here, like Cheyenne was saying, since we've been there camping, We've had Muslim, Christian, Jew, Buddhist. We've had the Hasidic Jews. We're walking around with the Yama, reading the Torah in Hebrew. They fasted on land twice, like 50 to 75 of them.
And they just called again to come back.
Yeah, and we booked on the weekend that they want to come back. But they loved it out here. We had Chinese people. We had Mexicans. We had like 2,000 Mexicans out here. We had a mechanical bull.
People from India.
They bought they bought the cook-up from Mexico. Tacos everywhere. It smelled like tacos out everywhere. I mean, they was out here under. We had people in India with dots on their head. We had the African people from Nigeria. I thought I was in Wakanda one day. It was dashikis and everything, kookies all over the place. So we had every religion, every ethnic group. And what, you know, one thing I tell, especially with believers, because I remember one time a group of FOI came over here and there was a bunch of white folks on the land spending money with us, right? And a lesson I learned when I was young, my first job in life was at Blue Seas Restaurant. And the only job I had before I went to prison, a halfway job with Blue Seas Restaurant in East St. Louis. And I used to leave school and go wash the tables and all that kind of stuff. And one time, some white people came into the restaurant, and I looked at them like, "Hell, they the devil. It's time to attack them. I ain't finna serve them. I ain't finna be friendly with them or nothing." Well, the brother who managed the restaurant, he seen me with that attitude. He said, "Brother, go back there and make that coleslaw." And I go back there. I'm looking at him being respectful and all cordial and yes sir, no sir, yes, sir, no ma'am. And I'm thinking like, damn, why you being friendly with the devil, man? They enslaved us, brother. They Kunta Kinte, brother. We should be beating them up, right? But then when they left, he taught me a valuable lesson. He said, "Young brother, let me tell you something. This is business." And he said, in business, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, give everybody quality service at affordable prices. And he said, white folk like bean pies too, brother. They eat bean soup too. He said, in business, the only color that make a difference is green. Now, I was 14 years old when that brother taught me that. And to this day, I still live off that lesson right there. So in business, I tell us sometimes we be so black. It's black, that we alienate people who want to spend money. So we don't say I'm a black land. We don't promote it like that. We just landowners. We black. You can look at us and say we black. You know, she really black. She blacker than me. You know, but I'm saying you can look at us and say we black. So we ain't got to put that out there like that. Say we black because we got everybody come. And, you know, we do a lot of weddings, the Caucasian people, and we do proper handling of the people. We cordial, we respectful, and if you look at the reviews on Google, we got like 5-star reviews. People say, "Oh, their customer service is excellent." They say, "Man, they were so respectful. They manner is all ethnic groups, and they come from being FOI. You know, that's the NOI training is. You know, to respect everybody. And if they get out wrong, we're gonna deal with that too. But initially, we're gonna respect everybody, like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan do."
But honestly, he's still a work in progress because sometimes a big old truck come out here with a Confederate flag on it.
Oh, like you deal with them, boy.
They'll call me at the house like, "You got to do this tour."
Right, boy, come out. Yeah,
and look, and every time we book them, and they be the nicest, but they come through the gate with a big old Confederate flag and a whole group of them sometimes coming out for a wedding tour.
There be a lot of women. I'm like, I can't talk to these people, man. I don't understand.
Yeah.
They have a phrase called precision agriculture, where it's information and modern technology and management. My question was, when you're doing research, when people drop things on you, are you pulling in like the most modern technology, or what you're doing is the same as your neighbors and the other farmers? Are you learning the new tech and bringing in everything modern, or how are you going at it when you do your research?
Oh, so we, Ghazi and I have always sought mentorship. So we invest heavily in coaching and mentorship. And so with that said, we are always knowledgeable about what's happening, what's going on in tech. So when now the big thing right now is AI, and right. we are all over it almost every day with something, and sometimes we as business owners, and I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs as far as financial coaching myself. So sometimes we are so far behind because we don't invest the dollars as quickly. And so we invest a lot in mentorship. So we are always on top of what's going on and what's new. So definitely we are using everything that we can. And I understand the importance of differentiating our business. Georgia is heavy with farm type or barn type wedding venues. So we understood very quickly that we had to do something to differentiate ourselves. And because we didn't have a whole lot of experience in the wedding venue industry, we didn't maximize that at first. We just spread it wide, doing multiple. We had over 25 different streams of income in the first year, and we made over 6 figures in our first year in business here on the land. And that was just from the land. So we spread it wide, and then we started to look at data and statistics to see what was actually working for us, where we were making the most money. And what we saw was weddings where we could make, was where we could make the most money. But now, we've been here 2.5 years. We streamline things a lot. We are not creating posts anymore. We go right to AI. AI will create us 20 posts, for our social media account for the business. So the wedding venue business is we are moving it towards where it's hands off, where we're not really doing as much of that business right now, but we're making more money on it than we did our first year. But we're learning quickly. So we're coming, starting to move away from being so hands-on so that we can start to get back to the things that are natural to us. And for him, that's speaking. And for me, that's financial coaching. Yeah. And so we eventually want the wedding venue business to pretty much run itself, and we're just overseeing it.
And then, Brother Ahmad, that's a good question. I want to add to that real quick that also what we did was, because we were doing a lot of this work ourselves, and it was we was tired as hell. I'm up 3 o'clock in the morning mopping floors, and I mean it's crazy. I'm tired, nodding, and so what we did was, we partnered up with other Black and brown businesses. Mm-hmm. So like about several months ago, we had an event going on. I walked in, the lady who did all the serving was Black, the caterer was Black, the baker was Black, the DJ was Black. The videographer was Black. So we just partnered with our so now we learn how to like help other businesses get money too. Because every time we do something, rather that's why I do all that. We say, you take some of the money. What's your charge? And we add that into the price. So we just add it into the price. So everybody, we got like 7, 8 other vendors now, Black and brown, where they get paid too. And we just just take the bulk of it because we got the venue. You know what I'm saying?
And then we take it a step further, in that we have conferences here where we are teaching entrepreneurs how to run business. We brought in speakers, we brought in tax professionals, we brought in branding experts. So we are really tapping into everything that we know, and then, maximizing it for ourselves financially, but then giving back to the community we had a free conference here. So they didn't have to pay anything. They just came here and learned, but we definitely made some awesome connections, booked some events from doing things for free even. So it's been really phenomenal.
Yes, that's under the Sunset Ranch, or is that under the Landpreneur?
That conference that we did was under Sunset Ranch.
Okay.
Sunset Ranch. All right. Look, we want to go to a commercial break before I want to get into that homesteader. So let us go ahead and do our commercial break. Go ahead, Brother Kawi.
Yes, sir.
Hold on before you go, Kawi. I want to give kudos to our engineer. I see our engineer is on it tonight. Every word is spoke. He's flashing. So kudos to our engineer. Go ahead, Brother Kawi.
Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Job Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. As you can hear and see, Brother Jackie, he described them right, a real power couple, somebody that we can actually relate to. We ain't talking about no Beyonce or no Jay-Z or no Donna or Ivanka Trump. We talking about our brothers and sisters right here that you can see every day around the streets. My brother Ghazi and his sister Cheyenne Muhammad, and an incredible story. So as I said before, man, share this story, because what they're doing is making their story real to us. A lot of owning land like this was not a reality when I was growing up. I went to school and nobody never asked me, what do you want to do for a living? And I said, I want to be a farmer. I always said something like, I want to be a policeman or a teacher or something like that. And the majority of the class said the same thing. So they are actually making this real, very tangible and reachable for us. And they're right here for us. So please share, please subscribe, please hit the bell. And again, you know, the Jock Brothers, we all are business owners. We all own businesses. Myself, I am a realtor. Kawi Muhammad. It's been Allah really been blessing me this month. And I thank you, Jock Nation, for supporting me. Got a couple of closes going on before June. So all praise due to Allah for that. I try to make this experience really easy for you. And I do commercial as well. And I do farmland as well as residential. So please call me, 404-671-5681. Please support your brother in the real estate industry. Next, we have our brother Ahmed, the engineer of the show. He is an author. This is his first book, Bilal and the Bullies. I'm trying to get brother to see his book going in libraries all over the place. I have the applications right here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be really heavy on you this week about it. But support our brother. You can get his brother, as you can see. You can go to www.bipublishing.com, and you can get this book from Amazon. Can you get the Amazon instructions, Brother Ahmed?
Just go to bipublishing.com, and you can get on the Amazon link right there.
Praise be to Allah. And you'll be having your next book coming out when, Brother Ahmed?
July.
Praise be to Allah. I'm expecting this brother to pull out about 30 books, children books. And last but not least, we got our brother, Jackie Muhammad. He's the owner of Supreme Waste Removal. This brother is in the waste business. He stepped out on faith about 2 years ago. I mean, just stepped out there really. And Allah has been blessing him ever since. Brother Jackie, I know you and guys may make some connections. Do you want to tell us anything else about your business, Brother Jackie? You off the screen, Brother Jackie. I bring you back on. Hold on. There you go. Hold on. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I provide dumpsters throughout the Atlanta metro area, 20-yarder, 30-yarder, 40-yarders, whatever you need. We have sanitation removal. We remove commercial debris, trash debris, tree debris. We cover it all. So just give us a call if you need dumpster service.
And of course, you can reach him at the number on the screen, 404-957-7639. I think that's it. Back to you, Brother Jackie.
All right. So I want to go back and let's deal with what you mentioned earlier, the Black Homesteader event. Can you tell us about that event? What is it and what's going on?
So there is a Homesteaders of America conference that has been going on for many years, and it is predominantly whites. And, you know, in these type of spaces, when you're dealing with landowners and backcountry people, our people are sometimes fearful of going in those environments like that. So we really wanted to create the same type of learning experience, if not better, but one where our people can feel comfortable coming to learn about agriculture, how to grow their own food, you know, how to live off grid, how to get your alternative energy, how to use a ham radio, things like that. So I'll tell you the listing of classes in this particular, this year coming up, or this weekend actually. So we start each day with yoga by the pond at 7 a.m. Then we have beekeeping and the principles of sustainable living. That's Brother Ilya Rashad. Then we have food preservation using the canning method. Yes, the bees. Using the canning method, that's Sister Colette. Then we have hydroponics. We have a sister coming to teach a class called Wise Women Build. So she'll be, I know when it comes to doing things around the land, I call Ghazi to kill a bug. So you know I ain't picking up no drill. I ain't none of that stuff. So there's a sister that's coming. I think she's teaching something that's so important, and it's helping women get their hands on a drill, because when you have this type of land, and you have 14 buildings on your
All
land,
hands on deck.
he can't do it all. We all have to pitch in and do something. And so even the children have to pitch in and do something. So it's a sister coming to teach women to put a drill in your hand and learn how to use these tools. So that class is called Wise Women Build. We have Brother Barry coming to teach Straight Talk, the basics of homesteading. He's been in the preparedness space for many, many years. Even he was in Time Magazine some years ago as well. So he's coming. And then gardening in small spaces, that's Sister Portia Bellamy coming to teach people that you don't have to have 25 acres or even 1 acre to grow land. If you got a back porch, a front porch, or a sunny window, you can grow some food. So she's coming to teach growing food in small spaces. We have a young brother. Y'all talked earlier about young entrepreneurs. So we got a young brother coming. He has a worm business. And so he's actually coming to teach a class. I think he's 15 years old. He has a full worm business that he runs on his own. He grows raises the worms, and then he sells them to fishermen and to farmers. And then we have rainwater catchment systems. That's teaching people how to catch rainwater and use them. So you're not using, because sometimes people who are trying to grow food in the city, that city water that's coming out that faucet is preventing their food from growing properly. So he's teaching them how to harvest rainwater. Brother Patrick is coming to teach animal husbandry. We have a sister that's coming to teach permaculture. That's how to grow food in the natural way. We have the science of soil, building an underground bunker. Ghazi actually visited a brother. Ghazi and our 14-year-old went to go visit a brother and got to see his actual underground bunker at his house. So
off the chain.
He's coming to teach people how to do that. We've got a sister coming to teach how to develop a community garden, which is something that we're interested in too. We have a sister coming to teach lessons in livestock, homestead hunting. We got a brother called the Non-Typical Outdoorsman. He tried to market his show. He's a Black hunter. He tried to market his show to all these major stations. They wouldn't give him any airplay. So he started his own show. So he specifically focuses on people that are not commonly seen in the hunting space, which is Black people, Hispanics, and women. And so he's coming out. And then we got Sister Rashida Ali. Dr. Rashida Ali is coming to teach Let Thy Food Be Thy Medicine. We have Brother Randy's coming to teach raising and processing chickens. We got another brother that's coming to teach how to hustle and win with land. We got an attorney coming to teach estate planning for landowners. How to transplant successfully, how to detox from dioxins in your water. And then Brother Ghazi is doing a keynote on developing the mindset of a landowner. And that is a whole subject in itself. And then lastly, I teach something that we really have. So I'm already a certified financial coach, and I understand entrepreneurship and finances. But it's a whole nother thing when you got 25 streams of income and you have to figure out how to manage all of that money and how to manage all those systems together. So I teach a class called Land Liberation and Legacy, in which my goal is really to help us not just to make money from land, but how to get free through making your money from your land, how to actually manage your money in such a way that you can actually be free.
That sounds like a whole Savings Day lineup right there.
And we go to this website, blackhomesteadersconference.com, to join, or is it something we pay for, or
Yes, sir. So all the information is on the website, all the instructors, their bios, what the classes are all about. It is a ticketed event because it does take money to put on an event of this magnitude. The tickets are $100 per individual. $175 per couple. So if two people jump on together, they can save $25. All children are free to attend. We have 5 different elders are 50% off. If people want to come for a just one day, they can do that as well. We offer camping. So we do have some people that are camping here. That's already sold out. And we also have RVs here as well. And that's sold out already too. And we have 5 food vendors. We have probably 10 people selling different things from jewelry to natural, skincare products, all kinds of things like that. And mostly believers.
All right.
Okay.
Praise be to Allah.
What age does elder start? No, just kidding.
No, that's a good question.
What age? Okay, what age?
it's really 60, but like
60.
I always get it. Like people I know. I'm just saying people I know. Just give me a call. That's all I'm gonna say. Give me a call.
I need you to talk to your manager about that.
She's the captain of the thing, but people I know, I hook them up.
Ice cream man, get us in, man.
Right.
Yes, sir. Well, praise the Lord.
And then we was reached out by the sister who was one of the state reps here. She called us because someone came to one of our trainings, and she good friends with one of the state reps here, and so she reached out and wanted to come visit. I gave her a tour through the whole place. She looked at the website, the history of what we've been doing. She actually loved it. So on that weekend, they're actually planning to come out. The state rep, the CEO or brother over the USDA, and some other politicians to give us a resolution, like a Sunset Ranch Day in the state of Georgia. And so that's something that's real big, and they not really invite us to present to the Black Caucus here in Georgia and all kind of stuff, So it's a lot of things coming up out of it, even politically, just from serving, just trying to serve people,
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask about the I heard you say earlier about putting a pump in the in your well. Would you call it a pond, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, what other ways did you find for irrigation throughout your land?
Oh well, we have well water like all over the place, so it's already pumps. And we ain't got to pump it like that. You just raise it up, and it's well water everywhere. Pump. Yeah, it's electric pump. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pumps already over the property. So we just got long 100-foot hoses. So anywhere we grow food, we got water there.
Okay, is those on the ground or are those above ground?
Yeah, it's like above the ground. You just hit it. It's probably about 3 feet above the ground, maybe.
And what about weather? The challenges with weather?
Well, man, it's a good one because we came in from Arizona, right? And it's hot up in Arizona. Mm-hmm. So we came here, we didn't know, one time the water was off. And I'm like, what the hell going on? I'm thinking, ain't it come out the faucet, the toilet ain't flushed or nothing. So I'm calling around, I'm ready to go buy a whole new tank. And then so we Googling and we talk, I called Patrick, and then he said, brother, remember last winter, it got real cold.
Yeah.
And the damn well pump froze. So it was a heater in the building. We didn't know why the heater was in there. So then we say, damn, we got to plug this thing up in the wintertime because it was a heater that was in there. So once we heated it up and it thawed out, it was good. But man, the weather was something when it get real cold. Georgia don't get as cold as Detroit, Chicago, New York, like that. But last winter it did get cold, and that well pump had froze. And if it freeze, ain't no water going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the value of this conference, the Black Homesteader Conference, because you come together in a place and you can learn from other people. You can learn from other people's mistakes, and really we're building community. So you have a brother Patrick to call, or you have a brother Ghazi to call, or Sister Cheyenne to call when you get into trouble. When we really need that community, because when you own this type of land, somebody mentioned earlier, I think Brother Jackie mentioned earlier something about not being able to see the neighbors. But in our case, several of our neighbors, they just as new as we've been here before them. You know what I mean? And so we need that community. You need somebody to call. And we really hope to grow to the extent that, we growing tomatoes over here. Somebody else is raising chickens over there. Somebody else is raising, and we can start to share those things.
Barter.
Things together. Right. Yeah. And we barter up a storm. We got this big old event space. So we got our whole kitchen I hated the kitchen. In
the event space.
And I would take people on tours. I wouldn't show nobody the kitchen because it was so ugly. But we had some people who wanted to have a wedding here, and they had some skills. So they're having a free wedding, and we got our kitchen renovated.
We done painted, marble floors, everything.
Tile.
Right. Put a door in where wasn't no door.
I'm telling you, and we've been doing that. We bartered something else. We're having for the Black Homesteader Conference, we are having a dinner on Friday to honor our presenters who are flying in from all over the country to serve alongside us. And so we wanted to have a dinner for them. So we have a company that provides servers for the weddings that we have here. Well, the daughter of the main business owner that we work with, her mother actually, her sister was graduating from college. So they needed an event space to have a graduation party. So we swapped services. We didn't pay anything for them to serve our presenters. on Friday, and they got to have a place where they can. So that's another thing when it comes to having land is that you can barter.
And then let me say this, here, and this time I mention to student minister Sharif Muhammad, student regional minister, was that, so like we had these chickens and we got a lot of eggs, right? Because I know we first came, I didn't know chicken lay eggs every day. So we had so many eggs, and I'm eating egg salad, egg toast, egg coffee. I'm egged out,
like
right? But so what I say, man, we purchased, and this some game that we had to learn. We bought baby chickens for $1.50 a chick. We bought a dozen of them for under $20. In 4 months, them chickens big enough to produce eggs every single day for the next 7-8 years, right? Now under $20, free, farm fresh, brown, healthy eggs, no chemicals, no nothing. So what I said was, man, between like our property, Brother Randy, Brother Patrick, and other believers who got land, man, if we ain't got nothing else among ourselves, we should be having eggs. We shouldn't go to Kroger and Publix about no damn eggs. We should at least get from us. We need to put all the money together, get some chickens. We got the land to raise them and stuff like that. And they produce eggs every single. Man, we got so many damn, bro, I ain't gonna even go there. We got eggs all over the place. So we should at least get eggs for myself. You know what I'm saying? And,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise Allah. Well, all right, Jock Nation.
Well, I just have one more question. You haven't ran into any biochemical contaminations on the farm, though?
No, and I'm gonna say this because that's a good question, and that's something we had to learn. So the way the Caucasian world is, they use a lot of pesticides and herbicides to kill weeds and things like that. And what that does is it depletes the soil, it robs the soil of the natural nutrients and minerals. So you can plant seeds in what you think is dirt and it don't grow. Or if it grows, it don't have no nutritional value to it because the nutrients come from the soil, right? Right. And so what we learned is, so we had to learn a whole process called regenerative agriculture, because they did use in certain areas of this land, they use a lot of pesticides and herbicides, and it wasn't no worm. We digging in no worms there, and that's how you know when you don't see no microorganisms, no worms. You know it's heavily medicated. So you got the earth got to almost re-cleanse itself through a process of regenerative agriculture using dung and water and poop and compost, broke down leaves and all that kind of stuff to add life back in the soil. But we haven't come across any bio thing. But there are certain areas we test the soil that needed more nitrogen and things like that.
Okay. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. All right, Jock Nation. So you heard it here first. We're doing the Black Homesteader Conference this weekend. It starts at what time?
At 8 in the morning. It's 8. It's gonna be 8 to 6.
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. And man, all you brothers are invited, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, talk to the boss, though. You know, when we get off air, talk to the boss.
What y'all got to offer? What y'all got to offer?
Bring a dumpster, brother Jackie. Bring a dumpster, brother. Bring a dumpster. Hey, man, but you know what? Though? We are going to talk to you because we got some stuff that we remodeling. And I actually called some dumpster companies to rent some dumpsters. So that ain't happening no more. But Jackie, our person. Right?
Yeah, if you know any of your friends want to buy some farmland.
Oh, we do.
We always got people.
We always got people do that. That's why it's good to be out here. Like Sister Corinne, like it's a little MDT bought some land right across the street from us. Sister Jessica from the Vanguard sister. She got the 5 acres right across the road from us. And I think Sister Corinne was her realtor, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sister Corinne was her realtor. So, you know, it's people coming all the time looking for people. If you know about land, we can send you people all the time that want land. All kinds of people.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, praise be to Allah. Yeah, my children was out there with Blackstone.
Okay.
Yeah, my son and my daughter. So praise Allah.
We had a ball with them, man.
Yeah. So they had a ball too as well. All right, Jock Nation. So you heard it here first on the Jock Brothers. We want to support our brother and sister with the Black Homesteader Conference. So we asking you to support. So we're gonna go ahead and close out. We want to go ahead and offer you. Would you like to say some last words to to us and before we close out, Brother Ghazi and Sister Cheyenne? Both.
Yeah, I guess I want to thank you all for doing what you do. You know, I was telling Brother Kawi, I think I seen him in Chicago, I believe, in FOI class, because I had watched y'all show before. I didn't know y'all was in Atlanta though. because y'all be, because we moved from Arizona. Y'all saying like College Park, South Fulton. I didn't know that was Atlanta. I'm thinking that's in another city. Like some of the names y'all used to say. So when I seen them in Atlanta, I'm like, damn, y'all in Mars 15 in Atlanta. So I didn't even know Jock Brothers was here. So man, thank y'all for what y'all do. Because I did catch a couple of y'all episodes on Facebook. Before quite a few of them, and it's pretty good. And we just want to encourage our people to get some land. It's the order of the day. Food is the food wars is on, and it's Bill Gates them buying the land. It's a lot of GMO products out there, a lot of fake food out here that's causing all kind of deformities in us. So we want to encourage our people, whether you know about land or not. We didn't know nothing about it. I went from the hood life to the good life, and so anybody can do it. If you got a desire to do it, put that faith in the God and make it happen. He'll guide you.
Absolutely. Sister Cheyenne.
I mean, he said it all.
All right. Praise be to Allah. All right. So let's go ahead and deal with Brother Ahmed. I heard it, bro.
I'm sorry, but guys, every time somebody come on the show, it looks like Ahmad, but it's pronounced Ahmed, so they just have a good time with that.
That's what he say. Yes, sir.
But no, I thank you both for coming on the show, because I came out and visited your farm before, and when you was first getting started, and it was inspiring to see all that was offered to you, and just watching you take it all in and create new things. And now you're creating opportunities, you're creating information and knowledge, and you're not holding it. A lot of people nowadays are getting information and they want to hold it. They want to sell it to the top bidders, and it's all a hustle now. But what you're blessed with, you're giving it, and that's what we're trying to do with this show. So we thank you all for coming on and helping us help you, and you helping us to get this information to our audience, and they'll be able to go on here, and we pray that they support you, and you continue to have support on your farm and everything that you're doing with the farm.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Good words. Thank you, brother. Ahmed Bia. Go ahead, brother Kawi.
I'd like to thank you first for taking our invitation and coming on our show. I want to let the people that's viewing know that this farmland is not, I know when you think about a farm, you think about something being ultra expensive, like seriously expensive, in the millions of dollars. And maybe there are some lands that's in the millions, but some of this farmland, these acres like this, are costing less than $300,000, $250,000. I know a brother that bought 30 acres of land for $275,000. 30 acres of land for $275,000. I don't know what this family spent on it, but I know it wasn't $1 million. And as you can see, they have figured out a way to make their land work for them. And so I just appreciate you coming on here and being so open as to show us, as to tell us the many different ways that you have discovered how to make money with your own land. I mean, I almost feel for you though, sister, because you sound like a real corporate like sister that's used to going to an office. You got your break room with your coffee machine, and you go on breaks. Now you live it's like green acres for you. You on a farm. And you don't have the breaks, and the what's called the cooler conversation. But yet you seem to be happy. You seem to be at peace with this lifestyle, and the perks that you are getting for making this type of sacrifice is absolutely beautiful. And Brother Ghazi, of course, man, jail. So many people we know, man, come out of jail and just can't figure it out. But that wasn't your spirit. That wasn't the attitude that you got from it. And I like your outlook on that story about the brother that had 40 years, and he said he had hope. And you took that story, you took that experience of that little brother, and you ran with it and did something with it. And of course, knowing the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't hurt either, you know. So all praise is due to Allah that y'all coming together and becoming each other's better half. And you know, I look forward to seeing what you two are going to do in the future to further inspire us to be your farmers' neighbors or neighboring farmers. So thank you for coming to the show and sharing that. Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, man. Look, Jock Nation, if it's anything we've learned from this show is no excuses. I mean, my brother said he have 6 felonies and he didn't look back. And, you know, and so we thank Allah for your vision, your tenacity. We thank Allah for your service to your husband and how you all have worked together to build something for, you know, the future, for now and the future. And, you know, look, Jock Nation, we got to share this video. This video must be shared. It must be shared and shared and shared, because you have ended so many excuses, and you have shown the value of teamwork, the value of humility, as you pointed out earlier, Sister Cheyenne. And you know, it's just so many different principles that was shown in this video to me. So I look forward to coming to the farm as well, and definitely learning from you all and studying everything that you put together, you know, for the benefit of everyone. I mean, you're offering this to everybody. So praise be to Allah. Look, Jock Nation, we thank you all for tuning in once again. And as we say, we're gonna keep it Messiah. That's the term. We're gonna keep it Messiah.
Right.
All right, let's go, engineer.